So today I'm answering a question I received on social media. The question was, Carol, any other tips to aid in falling asleep faster other than tapping? I already use oils, Reiki, meditation, anything else I can do. And so I want to answer this question by talking about the difference between an external resource to help us in falling asleep and an internal resource to help us fall asleep. So everything she's described there, the tapping, meditation, Reiki, essential oils, those are all external resources. So things that we are not doing internally, but that are external to us to help us fall asleep quicker. And they're not right or wrong. They are a tool, a resource that we can use. But today I really want to dive into the internal resource. What can we do internally to help our mind and body know and follow the cues that it's time to go to bed and go to sleep and stay asleep? So that's what we're going to dive into in this video. So for those who don't know me, my name is Carol Richard. I'm the founder of the Sleep Success Academy. I love helping people find ways to get just that good, nourishing sleep that we need, that our body needs, that our mind needs. If you haven't already done so, you can go to my website, Sleep Success Academy, and scroll down halfway on the homepage. You will see where you can put your name and email address, and that will give you a copy of my free guide, 5 action steps to improve the quality of your sleep. And you'll be subscribed to my email list. You can unsubscribe at any time. Also, while you're at it, why don't you click subscribe on this video so you'll get notified every time I put out a new video. All right, so I really want to talk about internal resources. So I've got some notes here that I'm going to follow as I talk about this, because consistency is really key to build our internal resources. So to build the cues in our body that, says, okay, it's time to release that melatonin, because we know that melatonin is like the start signal of the race, right, of going to sleep. So there's a video that I will link here talking about melatonin and what its role is in our sleep. But in order for the melatonin to be produced naturally, we have to set up our body and our mind to know when to release that. So consistency really is key. And so one of the first things that I would suggest you do to build the consistency is start winding down before bed, right? We really want to teach our mind and body and get it prepared for sleep. And you can't go till the last minute and then all of a sudden expect to lay down and go to sleep. And if you ever look at little babies and what we do for them when they're little, I know with my children, I did this, you give them a bottle at a certain time, maybe you give them a bath, there's a routine. And after the bath, maybe they get to cuddle for 10 minutes. They get a book if they're old enough to hear you reading to them. And once all of that is done, then they know, oh, now I'm going to be laid down. I'm going to go to sleep. Their bodies has the cues because it's consistency over and over. And all of a sudden, bang, they go to sleep. So we have to start doing the same for ourselves. We are that important, that precious, that we need to treat ourselves sometimes like if we were that little baby or that little kid, and have a consistent bedtime routine. And what that will do is it will create the internal cues that our body needs to release the melatonin to go to sleep. One important part of this, one important factor, is waking up at the same time each day. And I know that's hard for people, especially on the weekend, because we wake up so early during the week. And then on the weekend, we want to sleep in, which is totally normal. But what happens when we do that is we're kind of creating this social jet lag, where then we're messing up our circadian rhythm, our body clock, because when we wake up at the same time each day, we're creating that consistency. So for 5 days in the week, our body's going, okay, I know I'm up at 6 a.m. and I'm outside by 7:15. So I'm starting getting some light therapy. I'm starting to get all these things happen. And maybe I'm walking to work, so I'm getting some exercise. And then all of a sudden on the weekend, we're like, oh, no, I'm going to sleep till 11. So right there, I've reset my body clock by staying in bed that long. I don't have enough sleep drive built in. And all of a sudden I'm trying to go to bed on Sunday night. There's another video that can probably be linked called Sunday Night Anxiety. I'm not able to sleep because my body has lost the consistency it had. And then all of a sudden I can't sleep. And it's not because we're not able to sleep. It's because we have internally messed up our system. And it doesn't know because of the 2 nights of staying up later, sleeping in, all of a sudden it doesn't know that it should be giving us melatonin now because we've confused the body. Hope that makes sense. So those are two of the first things. The next one I had, how can we start building this internal resource, is really listening to our biological needs of our body. A lot of us don't listen to the cues of our body. I'm guilty too, where I need to go use the washroom and I don't go because I just work through something. And all of a sudden, my body is not being taken care of. And the more we do this and we go against our body cues, and I'm talking about biological cues, like when I'm thirsty, I should be having some water. When I'm hungry, I should be eating. But we're trained in this world to put those cues aside in order to keep working or in order to put other people's needs first. And then our body doesn't get what it needs to be supported. And then at night, well, maybe we didn't process the fact that we were hungry, or there's a bunch of stuff coming on. So our body has lost those cues. And we can really start building those cues again just by listening to our biological impulses that we need. So start looking at that. And the next one I have to really start paying attention to our daily accumulated stress. So big, because what happens if we don't pay attention to our daily accumulated stress? Even if I follow everything to a T and I get up at the same time each day and I make sure I don't drink caffeine because I know that is going to affect me, and I follow my biological cues of my body, but I continue to put stress in and stress in and stress in, I'm not able to regulate my nervous system, and then I can't go to sleep. So it's important to take some time during the day to pause, look at our to-do list. Do I have too many things on there? Can I maybe only do 3 of the 20 things on that list? Will that be enough? Most of the time it is. We just have these beliefs that it's not. So really looking at all that, and how can I set up my day so that I can actually release some of that stress? And that could be going for a walk. That could be like discussing with a friend and sometimes venting, but not venting to keep venting and not get out of it, but venting so that I can find a solution to get myself out of all this accumulated stress. So look at that. That will help reset your internal resources. Of course, the next one I have, regulating our nervous system as best as we can, because we live in a world that is dysregulated. We have jobs that dysregulate our nervous system constantly. And that's good in some sense because I need some activation in my nervous system to be able to run, or to be able to meet a deadline, or to be able to make sure that when I'm cooking, I remember to turn the stove off. Like, I need some activation in my nervous system. But, I'm supposed to activate and then deactivate, activate and deactivate. That's the normal. What happens in our society is I'm cooking, I'm thinking about work, I'm needing to take the kids somewhere, I forgot to pay my bills, and I'm activating, and I never come down because there's just too much going. So my nervous system is not calming down. So the way to calm down the nervous system is, winding down before bed, making sure we get out of bed on time at the same day. I know I'm repeating, but this is consistency, right? Deactivating the nervous system by talking to a friend, by doing a meditation, using our external resources here, like tapping, like getting in a warm bath with bubble bath, and taking the breath that the body needs, taking that pause, re-regulating the nervous system. And the last thing that I have on my list here to help you build your internal resources so that your body can start listening to the cues to fall asleep when it's supposed to, it's really getting support in your life. Finding that friend or that partner or that parent or that person that can provide you a support. Sometimes it's a coach, sometimes it's a therapist that can help you figure out what you need to do, and really finding that support and being okay with asking for support. It is so crucial that when we feel overloaded, that we ask for support so that we can give ourselves some breathing room to be able to figure out how to readjust our life so that we can calm down our nervous system and then fall asleep quicker. I hope these tips were helpful. It's stuff that I repeat all the time, but it is so simple, if you want to make it simple, yet so hard to do because we don't live in the world that helps us always be consistent and de-stress easily because there's so much. big reason why I never listen to the news, because it causes too much stress in my nervous system. And I just don't want that, because then it can keep me awake. So finding ways for you to take care of you in this stressful world. So that's it for today. I hope this helps you fall asleep faster and quicker and stay asleep. If you need any more support, don't hesitate to reach out at support at Sleep Success Academy, and I'm always here to help you.